Heathers.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those that I saw in grad school, 1988, right? So I was too old to see it in high school or college, but it resonated, right? Because, of course, I want to be Veronica. Wait. No, it's funny looking at them. It's like we've got 3 Heathers and Veronica. Why do I have a monocle in my Bitmojis? It's probably because of that movie. Because she does this whole thing of, she could keep her diary. And, of course, she gets to stand up to the Heathers and take care of everybody so that she takes care of the fat girl who ends up on the mobility scooter and such like that.
She was an interesting character because she was adopted by the popular clique. And you see her describe her relationship with those girls as being work. She said, I have a job and my job is being popular.
Okay, now I think it's written by man. Somebody look it up. Doc is a great writer like Veronica. Aw. Well, I did keep a diary, so I'm totally this kind of woman character. This also resonates for me. There's this brief moment in middle school when the popular girls talked to me. 3-hour-long telephone conversations with one of them, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's talking to me. I can be somebody. So I get it. Why would I want to be part of that group at all as a Veronica? What are the Heathers? And then, of course, what I veered off into is, of course, the real reason I wanted to be Veronica is Christian Slater's character. And I was like, I'm thinking about men again. Is this a movie about women, or is this a movie about what kind of status women are looking for from the guy who shows up? Is he an alpha? Is he a sigma? What is he? He's willing to blow up the whole school, which is why Veronica ends up blown up in the picture that we have here. Why does she get the kind of status that she does from having been his girlfriend? Is it simply women get status because they have a boyfriend? No, we know that. If your boyfriend's a Delta, you don't get the same kind of status as you get if your boyfriend's JD. Yeah, juvenile delinquent. Goes with what you said about the alphas ending up in prison, right? Spoiler alert. They kill the football players, right? Talk about an alpha. Yeah. Whoa.
See, that's an interesting thing. Whoever wrote that film, how they've described the relationships between the cheerleader girls, the Heathers, and the jocks that they're hanging around. This is like studying a foreign country for me, looking at these high school examples, because I didn't go into this kind of environment.
Trust me, they're totally accurate. The way in which American teenagers are, it's like anthropologically, you have to be hazed to get through puberty. Well, that's what we do. We put you through high school. And if you want to know why Nancy Pelosi and company all behave like they do, they went to high school. Everything you need to know about American culture is in the high school hazing ritual. The point about the Heathers is they're all Heathers. Men make a pyramid hierarchy. Alpha, support guy, a lot of deltas, gammas trying to crawl their way up. What do women make?
Constellations. Would that be a good way of describing
well, let's figure it out, right? That's actually, and the thing is, I do know, having been the Veronica character and therefore not really one a part of these, I had to observe. If you're the autistic woman, you get to be INTJ and observe all of this and have to fake it, but you can't fake it, and so you never get to be one of those women, ever. On the other hand, if you're Veronica, I don't know, you become an academic and write about them. I think in academia, there's a lot of Heathers, the sort of group dynamic that women create, that who's writing these, right? So I was joking about Hypergamos, Vox is writing it, and so the women don't actually behave like we recognize women do, which is interesting. Yes. I don't like Mean Girls as much as I like Heathers. I think Heathers is way darker, Christian Slater's way sexier. More of the dynamic that I recognize is in that one. Mean Girls, it's similar. There's a clique of the 3 of them. Clique dynamics of how do you tell the truth about each other to each other. I get the sense that an alpha man worries about his competition with all the other men, so they have to fight him. If you get the new lion and the pride, they have to fight.
Generally, the alpha female is the one who sets the opinion standard of the other girls that are around.
That's it.
They might disagree secretly. There's a lot of backbiting and whatever, but never will an alpha female be openly challenged on her opinion.
You have just described it. That's exactly it. They're the ones who set the opinion of everybody else.
Yes, it's a social opinion. Without being prepared to sit there and listen to the established opinion of an alpha female, you're not going to stay in the clique.
That
you never will.
Beautiful description of exactly what it's like. Mel reports from the chat that the Heathers was written by men, which explains why I like it better. And that, yes, Tina Fey wrote Mean Girls. The resolution of it all with Heathers, there is stand up to these women, fight them, right? I think that's what Veronica actually is willing to fight them. And she's also, she's willing to stand up to JD, but it's a very masculine energy. It makes total sense to me that Heathers was written by men. Yeah. Mean Girls wasn't. If it's written by Tina Fey, she's playing out a different kind of dynamic. The popular clique and the stand up to the clique, the whole situation is played out completely differently. And what you just said about this, I have actually experienced a lot in academia. It's not even the content of your argument. It's you disagreed with the one who was setting the tone.
Yes.
That's it.
And I think because men don't understand this, they get confused about women now and why women have crazy opinions. Women don't have crazy opinions. Alpha females have crazy opinions. And nobody is challenging the alpha females.
Right.
Because if they do, they're socially destroyed. It's done.
Over. It's done and over. I don't like the saying they're alpha female. I think Queen Bee works.
Yeah, that works too. But I've heard people use the term alpha
problem is I
female
don't like
roles.
queen bee because queen bees are actually good. They get the drones to work. The queen bees actually give the whole hive a purpose. And I'm not clear whether alpha women lead in those terms, right? What they give is a purpose for the social set, and mainly the women collecting around the alpha woman queen, who interestingly, just like the alpha man, is actually necessary. Just like, so you need Melania in the White House decorating the trees. You do actually need a woman doing that. The men need to be there doing their hierarchy, and the women also actually need a woman setting the tone for the conversation, because otherwise socially everything breaks. We actually need Barbie to be Barbie and be the cheerful one and hi Barbie and hi Barbie, and it's like they're all echoes of Barbie, and they need her to be the one that they all cluster around, to be the queen. Well, queen is actually the role that the women have tended to take in society, and we need the queen of heaven to get there.
Yeah, Barbie's important. Her social role is really, really important. She keeps people connected. If you take out the Barbie, the social connections are dissolved, and then everything starts to go to hell, which is something that probably the guys that were focusing on the feminism aspect of the Barbie film didn't pick up on so much. She does keep everybody connected. She makes the relationships fluid. I think a good Barbie is like that. They are able to create real network of people. They can introduce people to each other that may not be able to do it themselves. They make social bonds happen.
They're really beautiful when they do it well. Greta Gerwig, good on you, girl. A good Barbie makes all of the women around her beautiful. All of them.
Barbie was beautiful because she wasn't competing with the women. She was taking care of them.
She was taking care of all of them. It's like, we really, really want you, Barbie. And here we get to the sad part, right? The weird Barbie is made that way because women are being forced into roles and expected to be beautiful and things like that. And I can't be that beautiful, and therefore I'm going to be a feminist and cut all my hair off and dress, in a masculine fashion and wear combat boots and be ugly.
I literally wear combat boots.
Hey, I wore Doc Martens all through graduate school, right?
Yeah.
They're very sturdy boots.
They're comfortable.
So feminism attacks the Barbie something, right? And I think this is, so the Barbie was different from Mean Girl. Okay, if Heathers was written by a guy, then I get that. No wonder I like it. Mean Girls is trying to resolve the opinion controlling thing that the leader woman gets up to. And Barbie is trying to give us this, she's Virgin Mary. Greta, you did spend enough time in Catholic school. Hooray, right? She gave us a Mary. This is what's fun about the Barbie world before she goes off and finds, picks the Birkenstock, that all of the Barbies are happy, and it doesn't matter what size they, they're all fat and this and that, and one's pregnant and stuff. It's like a good Barbie makes all of the women in her community beautiful.
It's a really important kind of person to have in a family and in the community. Very, very necessary. They keep things beautiful. They keep people focused on each other instead of the stuff. If they're a good Barbie, really important in a family structure as well. I think they hold people together when things could otherwise get very cutthroat. And if they're not there, suddenly the dynamic of groups of females in particular changes for the worst, and things get very, very nasty very quickly.
Right. For example, women don't tend to like to move as much. And in academia, that means we get lower status because we won't play the market. But I recognize in myself, I'm loyal to my institution. What in the world does that mean? That's nonsense.
Got it.
My institution is taking care of me. I promised myself to work well for him, right? It's like, men don't think of it in these terms. I know they don't, because I hear them say, don't say, so women, we map onto other kinds of relationships, the primary ones that we actually function well in. And that's what I mean. It's like nuns talked about themselves as brides of Christ. I rest my case.
Yeah.
But this sort of default to relational is the woman's problem. The hierarchy is different from the relational. And I like the way we've articulated who the queen is for the women. She sets the opinion, and that's what you need to do. You need to match her opinion. You're in real trouble if you don't. So that in Bridgerton, of course, we have little fat sister who they really made she was in Barbie too. Did you notice? She was beautiful in Barbie. In Bridgerton, they made sure to make her look odd because she's the character that's writing the rag sheet that's gossiping about them all.
Oh, okay.
So she's actively going against the opinion of the court, and they're all sort of eating it up because they love the gossip too. But to do it, she's basically having to betray all of the trust that anybody has in her reporting on it.
That's the expected role for women in these situations. Women at court have to participate in the accepted opinion of that particular space.
Right.
And that space follows the opinion set by the queen in that environment.
Right.
And as soon as you challenge it, you're out.
Yep.
It's that simple.
What's funny about it is the court is created by the queen doing this. Women create courts. The women's hierarchy is going to be somehow defined by who's setting the opinion, who's policing it, right? That's what the Mean Girls are having to do. Who's challenging it.
Alpha women who have become bad alphas, once the opinion of the court is set in an immoral tone, everybody follows.
Yeah.
Because the fear of the social ostricism keeps everybody in line.
Gosh.
It's really a kind of death. So, for example, if men are thinking about it like, oh yeah, it's not so bad. No, you have no idea. It would be like, for most people, walking up to the local captain of your football team, punching him in the face. What do you expect to happen?
That's a challenge, though.
You're
Men
gonna
do
get-
that.
They do it, but they understand it when it's physical violence. They understand it with the physical contact, or, you know, like men duel.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they appreciate, I don't know, do you think they appreciate like a female duel? Looks completely different.
No, that's why Vox keeps writing those mice is so sweet to each other. How do I look? Stunning.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
are you kidding me?
They're all very supportive of each other, looking beautiful. It doesn't happen like that.
It does not happen like that.
And the thing is, if you're in a space with bad alpha or bad queen, you know, running the court, then you're sucked into a vortex where you're at court following moral standards that are set by somebody that you either openly challenge or you have to leave. There is no other option. It's very difficult to do that. And if the challenge doesn't work, which it rarely does, then you're left with being socially ostracized. Right. So this is what most women are dealing with in terms of the dynamics of their female hierarchy. And I think it explains why women have so-called crazy opinions on things. They don't actually have these opinions. Most women are not saying their actual opinions on anything. They're avoiding ostracism, but they're avoiding the terror of having openly challenged the alpha at court. It is very terrifying. It's a terrifying feeling to suffer the consequences of what happens afterwards.
It is possible.
You're kicked out of court.
It is possible to challenge, and that's really worth thinking about. But the thing is, it's totally internal to the women too. It's not something that the men actually can affect.
They have no influence on this because they can't stop the ostracism. Men can't stand.
Precisely.
Men cannot step in and stop the ostracism. This is where the men have no power. Women have no power over a male socio-sexual hierarchy. Men have no power in the women's either. They can't stop this mechanism from happening. Even if they loved somebody who was the brunt of the ostracism, they're powerless to stop it from happening. So, yeah.
We start thinking of actual examples, and it's like
people can see it. Like, this is why I love you so much. Your courage is amazing.
But in the sense, you understand what I'm standing up against in female terms. Yes.
Of course. The men see it as Galadriel in armor, but they don't understand. But it's true. They don't understand what it costs you.
Thank you. Oh, I know you know. The real mice, right?
Yeah. This is why hot women drink. It's not a picnic. Being around alpha women. I don't know why I'm crying so much.
Truth hits. There's no queen. There's no Barbie. There's no Mary.
No.
To take care of them.
There's nobody in that situation to say what is happening here. Fixing the social situation, pulling the girls out of the fire and saying, no, that's not for you. Leave. So what happens when girls are entering these courts? They have to, or they're ostracized. And it's incredibly painful to watch. What's that thing when they scrub your name off monuments?
Damnatio memoria. You don't exist anymore.
Yeah, and it's real.
Yeah.
You do not exist. You do not exist. When you're shitting on girls like Andrew Tate all the time and talking about how dumb women are, they're not dumb. They just don't want to go through what I did or what you did or what a lot of other women have had to go through in order to stand up for the right thing. Declare open warfare against the court because of a feeling that you need to fight the alpha for the alpha's own good even. It's a terrible and terrifying thing to be called to do. Yeah. Not a housewife and so therefore she's failed. No, because you don't see female dynamics. You don't understand the courts. To be in that space, you have to toe the line or else. And God help you if you don't.
We found truth. That's really important. If you are a woman that is willing to be at the dinner party and say the truth, Kilts, I'm thankful for you for saying that. You're risking more than the men realize.
It's not natural to be running around getting kicked out of courts and then having this experience of being a lone wolf or whatever. Feminists are writing about this as like some kind of amazing experience where women can be completely emancipated and do their own thing and they don't need anybody and it's great. This is not the way that women thrive psychologically. Women need the courts. They need them.
There is a theological claim here that I've been gesturing to. There is an answer. Why do women need the Virgin Mary? It's because she can be queen of the court and she can keep us, if we're focused on her, from being bitchy to each other. Things that have helped me through all of this to be courageous about it really is true. Keep focused on her and the other things don't get triggered as badly because Our Lady is the most beautiful creature ever made. So there's one hope. Feminists took Mary from us. That's why we need her. She's Queen of Heaven actually is absolutely necessary for our spiritual guidance.
I'm gonna have a cigarette.
Stop the stream and I'll give you cake.
I need cake. I need wine. I need a cigarette.
You definitely do. You've been a trooper, an absolute trooper.